What is up, guys? Oh my god, I'm so tired. I just got in. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure you guys there's still my bags I haven't even unpacked yet. I just got back from 2K Team Up, and for the people coming over from Sports Gamers Online channel, I'll get to it right now. The offensive and general stuff on the SGO channel, so if you haven't seen that, then check that one out, then come back and check this one out so you don't miss anything. So let me just jump right into it, because I know that's why you're here anyway, right? So the game is actually so good, guys. You know, I wouldn't lie to you. I usually am someone that's very honest about 2K, what them do good and what them do bad. So defensively, I think defensively in NBA 2K is possibly been the most sporadic thing throughout the years, right? The game has made really good strides, but I think in 2K15 and 16 there were certain things that they were so behind on that it made sometimes playing defense kind of almost unbearable, because there were some things that you just didn't even want to try to stop because it was so unstoppable. And that, I think, is what forced some players to kind of rely on the CPU to defend for them, rely on defensive settings instead of just straight up playing on ball and say, yo, mech, we just got me and you, I'm guarding you, you guarding me. Don't pause and change the defensive settings. One-on-one, let's go. This year, you're in control of a lot more, almost everything, to be honest with you. And if you're not guarding Jesus of the Bay, aka Jesus Curry, I don't think you'll really need defensive stats to stop people. But to be honest with you, they are so in depth now that you should do it just because you can. So if you had watched the video about offensive and general gameplay fix, like following suit to what I said in real life, which is what they've really been doing, a lot of this has been so realistic. Real life has found its way into NBA 2K17. They had more fouls in the playoffs, 3-point fouls in the playoffs, than they did for the entire season that preceded it. Recovering on shooters just by jumping out at them and holding your hand up and hope that it contests them, no, that could get you down by 20 before you even know it. And although you might imagine that this could become a problem, there's a good balance between what is a foul and what isn't. But thankfully, no, when you have an open shot and a defender jumps the length of the free throw line to the 3-point line just to contest you, you won't just get a D quality shot, you'll probably just get a foul, which is pretty fair, I might say. And it doesn't happen all the time, it happens just enough when you kind of deserve it the most. And then a quick touch up on the post. I mean, I wouldn't say the post has been completely revamped. It's been touched on quite a bit. But one of the things I noticed the most is how many new animations have been added. Specifically, if you want to know the number of it, the post has been bolstered with near 700 new animations, from denying the ball, sealing, ducking and brushing, bumping, and straight up just being a dick and pulling the chair out from the offensive player and probably getting, you know, a charge call or something like that. But I like it because it adds some realism to the game. You know, it adds some realism to the post, and especially in user versus user matchups, it brings kind of a mind game into. But Andre, can you just shut the fuck up and talk about steals on block? You can get them just by being a smart basketball mind. That was my favorite thing. So say for example somebody's just dribbling up a storm and you want to swipe the ball from them. If you time it properly, you'll at least get a poke out. And even if you don't get the loose ball, the poke out still feels good because you're like, I timed that, I almost had it, I could get it the next time. It's rewarding, it's just rewarding. It feels a little bit better, and I think those are the things that contribute to making defense better this year as well. And as for blocks, if you are a help side person, like an athletic help side rim protector like Anthony Davis or something, it's going to be menacing getting to the rim now, yo. They really can get over there and contest and get that block. And even though it might annoy you at times, it is real. You'll get the block, you'll get blocked, and you'll look at who blocked you and you're like, alright, I guess I can't even be mad at that, he got me. So in regards to bump steals, help side blocks, and chase down blocks, I got a chance to speak to the defensive movement coordinator. And I quote, "It's always been hard to balance steals with ball accountability. When we made the change to make the ball independent of the player, it made it more difficult to determine what would trigger the loss of the ball. And although lots of people had complaints about bump steals, half of them don't realize that there are so many more times that the ball has touched the opposing player through regular contact. And basically, you should be losing the ball 3 or 4 times as much as you already do. Imagine that. Still though, it's something we're open to taking constructive criticism about and working on until we do find that good balance." That was very honest of him to say, and I really appreciate that he told me that, because he's open to listening to, like, is it too high, is it too much, is it too little? And everybody's always going to say it's too high, you have too much steals, you know, you lose the ball for just nothing. But after hearing him talk about it, it actually sounded realistic. Truthfully, how many times do you just try to blow by to your defender? How many times do you just run into your defender? How many times does he just kind of whiff past the ball, maybe shorts touched or something like that, or somebody running by you? Those are all times that you should have lost the ball, he says. It's something that you turn off and on. It's like a switch. but he tries to control how often it happens, and he doesn't have that perfect balance yet, and he's trying to work on it. This year it has been touched on, it is better. It might not be just there yet, it might need some more touching on, but just the fact that it's getting better is what I'm happy with. Every year I want the game to get better. It's not going to be perfect, but I just want the game to get better. And in my experience in playing 2K17, I think that every time that I had lost the ball on a steal or a bump steal, I think it was more my fault. I was trying to dribble too much, or I was just trying to blow by my guy and not really doing a proper move or calling for a pick, just kind of going by him, and I just bumped it off of him. I lost the ball. It was my fault. So I feel like that's better as well. If you lose the ball and you feel like it's your fault, then that makes some sense. At least it isn't the game's fault, right? Even though we probably still would just fucking blame the game, because we can. Now, as far as blocks go, Jerson went on to tell me this.
And I quote,
"Vertical and block rating will now dictate everything in regards to blocks. The higher the ratings of the player, the more block animations they will have, and the higher they can go up to get them. So now, if you're about to get a dunk on a fast break and see a smaller player chasing you down, he'll do a weaker and a fainter jump for the ball rather than the ones you'd see last year. That's just if he doesn't have high athletic ratings." And to confirm that, I didn't see many little man chase downs in my time playing the game. There were probably like, there was one, but it was just because I was going up and he had playing the hands up defense, so I just like brought the ball into his hand. So I guess that was maybe even my fault in a way. And to finish up, I think the defensive AI has gotten much smarter. They do read and react like the offensive players do. I don't think as well as the offensive players do. I think your AI on offense is going to be a lot smarter than your AI on defense, but at the same time it has improved. And even though the defensive AI will probably slack off at times, just being able to know you have that kind of control now, it gives you a better feeling of I'm controlling what's going on. But as far as defense goes, if you have any more questions even about offense and any of that, be sure to leave it in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. I'll be sure to answer it specifically as best as I can. I think everything has made great strides, and I think the game will be very good as far as gameplay goes this year. The only thing that could ruin it is a patch, but I spoke to Mike Wang about that as well, and I asked him specifically about patches. He says he remembers when he did patch 4 in NBA 2K15, and he was so upset with himself because he realized how overpowered he made shooting. But the bad part about it is that they actually just decided that they didn't want to do any more patches at that point in the year because they were solely focusing on the next game, which at the time was NBA 2K16. So he said he was actually upset with himself because he knows how many people were hating on patch 4. So that's why he's now happy that they can now go in and make hot fixes as the year goes on. He'll try not to overpatch the game, but he'll keep an eye and pay attention to what is being overused, what is being abused. Big ups to Mike Wang, big cool dude, yo, very cool guy. I love talking to him. If you guys have any questions, like I said, be sure to let me know. Twitter, comments, anything, let me know, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Next up will probably be my team breakdown video, and after that I'll do my league, my GM, Pro-Am, all of that. That will probably be on the SGO channel. So, you know, if you have any more questions, be sure to let me know, and thanks for watching.
Anytime. Oh, blow by.